T-Dog, J-Boy, and me, I'm Lugs. Our pride and joy is pumping our mugs. Be careful, kids, it could get rough. We're flipping our lids on sports and other stuff. Welcome to Sport Weasel Central. I'm Lugs.
And I'm J-Boy.
And I'm T-Dog.
That's right. Yes, this is Sports and Other Stuff. 50 years in the making, the Chiefs win their second Super Bowl. We'll break it down, the halftime, the commercials, the whole bit. Plus, Lamar Jackson is the unanimous NFL MVP. But, gentlemen, let's get started with the big game. Andy Reid has something to say about that. Andy, come on in.
How about those Chiefs?
So there you go. What'd you think of the big game? It was one, wasn't it, for the memories?
It was a good game. I actually was backing the San Francisco boys, but it was a good game. Straightforward. I'm sorry, Mahomes was not the MVP of that game. He had himself a mediocre game.
This is the Chiefs crowd yelling at you.
That running back should have been the MVP or make it a team award, but Mahomes, no.
I don't agree with that just because he had 2 picks. I mean, I don't.
And several passes were behind.
You think
people.
He shouldn't have?
No, I know. Like, I'm just saying. No, I think he should have been the MVP.
Okay.
Like, he had.
There's a debate.
He had 2 interceptions in the third quarter. Obviously, he had 2, but they don't make that turnaround if Pat Mahomes doesn't make just some incredible throws. One to Tyreek Hill, one to Sammy Watkins. Mm-hmm. So. I understand. Like, it's easy to say because even like when you look at the overall statistics for Damian Williams, like 38 yards or I think came on like an icing touchdown, which you didn't even need to score. So like 38 yards and an extra touchdown, that's where it came in. Like, it wasn't needed. So the game was already essentially over at that point. So I'm not saying it's not possible. I mean, but
okay, turning points. Tyreek Hill pass, catch.
I think one of the turning points was that Kittle push-off that was called. They didn't call let's be honest here. Jimmy G took a shot in the chin from a helmet and was laying on the ground shaking his head, right? I mean, they didn't call anything.
This is the sound of a man who lost money on the 49ers.
I think that's it. There's some.
And by the way, why should I ever feel sorry for Andy Reid at all? Right?
There's a lot of anger going on.
Why?
Why? I mean, I don't feel sorry for other coaches. I mean, he's had his moments and all of that, and he can put away like 3
Andy,
chickens and
1.
6 dozen donuts.
Andy,
I'm impressed.
Line 1. 6 chickens and 3 dozen donuts. Where do you get that? Krispy Kreme?
All I'll say is the reason why people like Andy Reid is just because with a lot of things in sports, like these false narratives that people just give.
How about those Chiefs?
That's why they like it.
Because again, when they lose, if you see, it's systematic. When they lose a big game, and it's not always true. Like, he'll sit up there and he'll take the whole blame. He was like, "It's my fault. We didn't prepare well." He never throws guys under the bus.
He outcoached Shanahan, did he not?
Oh, he did,
especially in the fourth quarter.
Oh yeah, no,
no huddle offense.
Well, Shanahan had some moments where I just at the end of the first half, you got 2 minutes and 4 seconds left. They're going to stop the clock. You've got your timeouts. And you let the clock run down.
I understand for this point only. His play calling after the ball gets, touched back, that I can't explain. He was worried because the punter for KC is pretty good, Cole Quick. And if you saw, they were very close to downing it at the 1. There was a guy who barely missed it. So if they get it at the 1, That's why I understand. I'm not second guessing him on that. Now, if you want to second guess them for why they ran the ball, I think the first 2 times and then threw it down to Kittle, which that was the right call, because anytime you do a full extension of your arm, they're going to call it. Like
right.
that's so. Like I don't have a problem when people are like, "Oh, they should have called that." They call that almost 100% of the time when there's a full arm extension.
But for Jimmy G's receivers,
you got to catch the football. Get your hands out in front and catch the football.
Thank you, Dave Lapham.
Well, no, that's the thing is Garoppolo, like, again, if you want to skip around in the game, Garoppolo, he had 2 critical throws that would have swung the game the other way. The first drive of the second half where they settled for a field goal, I'm blanking on who he threw it to, and he completed it for short yardage, and obviously they weren't able to convert the down, so they kicked the field goal. George Kittle was wide open.
Yep, he missed
George Kittle was wide open. If he converts that, they probably have a better chance to score a touchdown.
He didn't see him.
And then, obviously, when KC finally got the lead, Emmanuel Sanders was able to break free, and he overthrew him by like 10 yards. I don't think Garoppolo played bad, but he did. I mean, he did show why people will doubt him, where there were critical shots that he had an opportunity to swing the game and he didn't. And even though Mahomes had those 2 picks back to back, he showed you why he is the MVP last year and why he's the best quarterback in football, in that they're down like by 10 points in the fourth quarter, and then they just blitzkrieg them with 21 points, and that's that.
I mean, Mahomes showed up, but I think what it was no huddle, confused that defense. I think it was an Andy Reid call. I will give him props for that.
It's a few things. Yeah,
his experience paid off.
The no huddle did help, and obviously they did start to tire him out a little bit. But the other thing that I point to San Francisco messing up on is, and look, he had a good season this year, and I'm not trying to call him out, even though he gets snippy about everything. Richard Sherman and the 49ers are to blame for this. Richard Sherman, they left Richard Sherman one-on-one, and none of the receivers for KC in particular are good matchups for Richard Sherman. He's very good at, like, stopping, like, route runners or some guys with power, but pure speed, acceleration guys, he is no match for.
He got fried on that touchdown.
Well, the touchdown to give them the lead to Damian Williams was set up by the Sammy Watkins pass, where they singled him up, and like Richard Sherman covered, was like, no, he cannot. That is a big mistake.
Yeah, Richard Sherman won't be back next year. I don't think he'll be playing football.
You don't think so?
No, you can tell he had lost it. He had lost a big-time step.
I don't think he. Like I said, I think he can play. I just think there's certain receivers he is not equipped to play, and particularly if they have a fast receiver on his side, they need to keep a safety over top. Like, he can still play, but he needs to be protected in some ways.
Okay, reports say Patrick will have an MRI on his previously dislocated knee soon before the Chiefs sign him to a long-term deal. So my question: what's he worth, and will it be an all-time record contract?
$300 million.
It should be.
They're talking $40 million a year, maybe, for him. What do you think?
Oh yeah,
I think it's worth it, because just we've seen the cap go up each year. I'm sure there will be a point where it plateaus and even dips, but we haven't seen it in a while. I mean, I know going into like one of our first episodes, like, it seems like the last 15 to 20 years it's gone up. I think like 8 to 10 million each year. So if they sign it now, down the road, it won't look so bad.
Russell's the leader right now, $35 million a year. Russell Wilson, and everybody else falls behind him. Rodgers, 33.5. Jared Goff, shocker, 33.5. And Jimmy G, 27.5.
I know Jimmy G will get killed. I'm not saying he's maybe worth that, but like, he's still a good quarterback, and just this whole year
he's
overcoming.
Good quarterback.
He was over. I'm not saying he deserves that money, but I'll put it this way: to be fair, besides Deebo Samuels, who's like in his infancy as a
True.
like, besides Kittle, like, who's their great receiver? Emmanuel Sanders is probably not going to be re-signed. I mean, they traded for him to help him this year and this year alone. They'll have to probably draft. This is a good year to draft a wide receiver, and they probably will. I don't know any of the big name free agent wide receivers that are available. I don't know if
Mohamed Sanu.
I don't think that'll be the name they go for. They need a speed guy. Because, again...
Well, they'll go for Judy, don't you think? if he's still available.
I don't think he'll be available. They're drafting 31st. He's not going to be available. I'm trying to think of his teammate Scruggs might be available, and then T. Higgins from Clemson might be available. So like there are some intriguing. The guy from Penn State, Hamilton, he's a speed guy. So like that's what they need is a burner.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because again, one of the health scratches was Dante Pettis, who was like a high draft pick 2 years ago, and he just hasn't worked out. So like they're just scrambling to find some. That's why like I'm saying I'm giving Garoppolo the benefit of the doubt. Is like they had to manufacture a lot of stuff. Some of it because he's not as great as he needs to be at this point, but also
development.
Yeah, I mean, look, as good as as good as Mahomes is, you look at his receivers. I know Watkins is always injured, but Watkins is a special talent. He's drafted 4th overall for a reason. Tyreek Hill, obviously, is because of off-the-field concerns that did kind of bubble up at points that they were able to – that's the only reason he fell to, like, the 4th round. I mean, he has a 4.2 speed. And McCole Hartman is also a special talent who they're going to develop in time and probably becomes, like, a good receiver. So it's like he has better – weapons around him. He has I'm not gonna say he has a better coach, but like he has the top quarterback developer. I think at the time I've watched the NFL.
Okay, so. Trivia. Jimmy Fallon was pitching what product in his commercial?
I was just gonna guess Budweiser.
You are correct. John Legend and his wife were pitching what product?
Some car.
Genesis.
Yeah.
Good answer. Bill Murray was pitching what?
It was a Jeep.
Good answer. And finally, Post Malone was doing what?
It was a Bud Light Seltzer.
All right. We are 1 for 1, 3 for 3, 4 for 4.
Not bad for a running back.
Okay, what about our boy Lamar Jackson, the unanimous, are you shocked by that? Unanimous voted MVP.
I'm not shocked.
Not bad for a running back.
Because he meant that much to the team. It's simple as that. I mean, it's not the guy who accomplishes the most. It's what is he the most valuable member of his team, and he is.
Are you shocked that he's the only second guy ever to get complete unanimous voting? Brady in 2010, now Lamar.
No, just because
nobody else stood out.
Well, no, I mean other guys had good, but it's just I think his season was so vastly better, and also there was team success too. I mean, this is the best rushing team since I don't know
history.
History. Yeah. I mean, and you look, he was, and I know he jokes about running back, and obviously he is a quarterback, but like he had like a number one running back's statistical value in terms of his rushing and rushing touchdowns, and then in addition he was a top flight quarterback, so he was essentially two positions in one. I mean, just the raw statistics of what he did. And obviously, Ingram played well. Gus Edwards played well. And again, speaking kind of like Garoppolo, the scary thing with Lamar is once some of their younger receivers, like if Hollywood Brown can stay healthy, and if they can develop or draft other wide receivers or acquire free agents, receivers to give him other guys to attack the outsides of the field, like he's going to blossom even more.
So you think his stock will go up?
Yes.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he just captured the imagination of people who weren't even football fans. You know, a number of folks that they don't watch football regularly.
He's likable.
And said, you know, we got to see this Baltimore game just to see what he does, because it's always there's that chance that he'll pull that crazy play.
And I liked at the Pro Bowl where he was also the water boy. I mean, the guy's just down to earth, it seems.
It's the same reason, like, people, even though, like, a lot of people don't like Kansas City, it's the same reason. Is like, you see some of the plays that, like, Patrick Mahomes, again, just go back to Super Bowl real quick. The throw to Tyreek Hill, the deep shot, if you go back and watch, he was flat-footed. And, like, it was just a rifle shot.
All magic.
Just, like, most people don't do that. The same thing for Lamar the whole season. Like, he did so many plays where you're just like, a guy who plays that position shouldn't be able to do that. And again, like, they showed early on in the tight game against Arizona to where they needed to ice it. Like, there was a 3rd and long, and he threw a deep shot to Hollywood Brown to essentially ice the game. Like, they trust him as a passer as well. Like, it's not And some people want to say it's gimmicky. It's not gimmicky. He's just a really good ability to run the ball. And like he showed from last year to this year, he's developing as a passer, and I think that will keep progressing.
Yeah,
So
he's a unique talent. And like as far as pass